Okay, this is a video showing how to remove a section of wallboard. This is due to some remodeling that's going to take place here, and the problem is I want to remove the wallboard from this below these windows. Put in a set of doors in this location, and I can see that there's an outlet, and there's a good chance that the electrical cable may be running here. I don't want to cut through it. I've turned off the power to circuit number 9, and I've tested it so that I know there's no power there. Now, here's something that I saw on the internet. The idea is take a jigsaw. You take the blade on the jigsaw and you snap it off. And the idea is you pull up on the blade so it's all the way out. You measure it at 1/2 inch. Then you put it in a vise like that, and you snap off the upper part of the blade so that what you have is something that will only cut to a depth of 1/2 inch. And that way you have relative safety. So I've already, for example, cut. If you notice it right there, you'll see that the blade will only just barely get to the other side of the board. Of course, when I was cutting this, I had it upside down. And I just tested this out on this side. And I'm cutting down towards the baseboard, and then I'm going to cut out another section there. I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to see whether or not the electrical cable is in that location to see if that's something I'm going to have to worry about. And also, it's just a small section. I'm just testing this cutting method also. So I'm going to hit pause, and I'm going to finish my cuts. Okay, I finished that crack down as far as I could get it. This one, there was already a crack in the wallboard here, so I simply followed the crack line, more or less, and it was more of a jagged cut, but it also did it. Now, if I pry out on this section, it should separate. And there you see, now it's coming out. So I have a little bit more work to do here just to see what's behind here. So I'll hit pause, clean this up. There we go. Now I'm going to look carefully, see if that wire is behind there, that insulation. Okay, I pulled back the insulation here, and I can see that I just happened to cut that next to where there was a stud. This insulation comes out. I can see the entire cavity now. I've actually removed the siding on the outside of this so you can actually see the light coming through. Okay, and you can see the electrical is not wired through this section, so that's good. Maybe it's more typical to wire the electrical from above so that it must go over the top of the window frame. Because I know that it's not down in the basement. I checked in the basement. It doesn't run in the basement. Anyway, now this is good news for me, because when I remove all this section here, it looks as though I'm not going to have to worry about that electrical. Unless I have to change what's happening above, which I don't expect that I would have to do anything up there in order to get this door in here. So anyway, that's just a little tip on using this saber saw with the broken blade. Of course, I could have done this in a more messy manner using something like this, but it is difficult when you have the possibility of cutting into a wire, and you don't want to do that. Plus, also, it's much slower because you necessarily can't really limit this to just 1/2 inch. It takes more energy. I happen to have this jigsaw from my father-in-law, so I'll give that a shot.